Hi, I'm Heinbach, and this is the Superchord.
The Superchord is a rare avant-garde synthesizer from East Germany, made in the early 60s. At that time, the international music world was excited by the new electronic music coming from places like the WDR studio in Cologne. As the GDR sought to lead over the West in all aspects, they established the Labor für akustisch-musikalische Grenzprobleme to develop advanced electronic sound production. Here, the Superchord was created by Ernst Schreiber as the technical engineer, while the striking look was designed by Gunther Wächtler. From the beginning, it faced ideological concerns, which should later spell its doom. The instrument here is a prototype Superchord 2 from 1963 and resides at the Studio für Elektroakustische Musik at ADK Berlin, where the staff is trying to keep it running, which due to its age and complexity is an uphill battle.
The main output doesn't work. I've turned on the hum in post already, but it's still... It's meant for these classic tones. You can get a vox humana, oboe. These sounds were pretty common in other instruments that came even earlier, like the ondioline. So this is not what makes this instrument exciting. What makes it exciting is the subharmonic generator, implemented in a very interesting way, using a MEL filter. Let's make it deeper. Sub-generator is now one octave lower. Another octave. Such a world of beautiful tones in here. You've got your main sound generator, and then you've got a sub-tone generator. It will generate divisions lower. You might have seen this in modern instruments also, like the subharmonicon. Each row is one subharmonic generator, and you can send each of them to either the Tiefpass, meaning the low pass, the Hochpass or high pass, or to the MEL filter. You can change that routing here and adjust the amount of the filter here. In this section, you adjust the volume for the MEL filters. This one is continuous, and it makes a lot of sense. I don't know why they didn't do that for the Tiefpass or high pass. And here are your divisions. These go from 1 to 16. This means you've got 16 steps of divisions per subharmonic generator. The idea behind having these divisions is that you can decide new spectral sounds from one source. And this rich spectrum can then be filtered using the filter bank. when you divide it further, you can get rhythms. Bring everything down. Rhythmic things.
The Ministry of Culture was concerned about the use of subharmonics because they claimed them to be a fiction. Under the dominant cultural doctrine of Soviet realism, that made the subharchord suspicious. Yet, after some convincing, the party official in charge at the Culture Ministry became a supporter of the development of the subharchord, until he fled over the then open border.
It is possible to run external signals through the MEL filter. That's why I'm sitting at this piano, because that's what I'm going to do. To get the filter involved, we did a bunch of patching, and suddenly the main oscillator worked again. And we also got a square wave of that. That's the saw. Square wave is. I like the saw more. There's a nice feature called Rhythmatisierung. This is the rhythmatizer, and that's a reset for the rhythmatizer. And what does the rhythmatizer do? It's basically divides the signal into pulses. Bam, bam, bam. It's the closest thing that this instrument comes to an envelope, because you get a little when you press carefully, but that's not a lot. So this Rhythmatisierung gives you pulses.
like the music you hear in this video, check out my Subharchord Studien EP on Bandcamp. It is out now for just €5.
Here we've got the glissando, which, if you enable this, you press the lowest key, which doesn't work normally, and then you can go woo-wah, up and down. Having spent the day with this instrument, I can say it's both futuristic and strangely backwards. You've got a filter bank, you've got the subharmonic generation straight from the Trautonium, but then you've got a very, very heavy keyboard with just a tiny bit of volume control. This is not a playable interface overall. There's all this sonic power crammed in the funnel of this tiny keyboard.
In 1969, after less than 10 supercodes were made, development stopped. That was due to a changing attitude in regards to electronic music, as Prime Minister Nikita Khrushchev called it a cacophony, to which the GDR officials, of course, had to agree. All finished instruments were sold at a loss. The Labor für akustisch-musikalische Grenzprobleme had to close. This lack of a dedicated studio would stifle development of experimental music in the GDR for decades, until finally, in 1981, the Studio for Elektroakustische Musik was opened. That is where, after languishing in the Post Museum for years, this supercode finally found a new home.
Thanks to Malte and Andre for letting me play with this instrument. I hope I'll be back to explore more of the instruments that are around here. If you're on my Patreon, there's a sound pack and music from this video waiting for you. Lots of little sounds from this wonderful instrument, as well as discount codes for my music and plugins. It's a good place. Check it out. If you have any more questions, do put them in the comments below or visit the subreddit. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.